If you're having a dip, if your business is no longer making the money it was and you're rebuilding, it's okay. I don't want any woman to feel what I felt the last 2.5 years. I don't want you to feel alone. I don't want you to feel like there's something wrong with you because everyone else is only ever talking about how successful they are all the time. That's not what I'm here to do. I'm here to give you guys the truth. Even though it's taken me a little while to get here, I'm here to give you guys the truth. My name is Krystal fucking Wilson. I've built 2 businesses to multi-6 figures. I am no longer doing multi-6 figures a year. And you know what it means? Jack fucking shit. Means nothing because I am rebuilding on such a solid foundation.
Welcome to the She Who Dares podcast. I'm your host, Krystal Wilson, the founder of She Who Dares. I'm a specialized breakthrough and mindset coach, business mentor, online course creator, and your #1 no BS hype woman. I'm here to remind you who the fuck you are and reignite your personal power through powerful and expanding conversations on all things business, mindset, and energetics, to help you break through to your next level of success in all areas of your life, business, and bank account. Each episode is designed to expand your mind, shift your identity, raise your frequency, as well as give you success strategies to help you step into your highest, most powerful, abundant, successful, and magnetic you. So, I dare you to join me each episode, and I double dare you to implement what you learn and go all in on you. All in on your life, your business, your success. Because if you do, like so many of my She Who Dares clients and students, you will become everything that you know deep down you can be. Ready? Let's friggin' do this.
Hello, my gorgeous women of the She Who Dares podcast. It's your gal, Krystal. We're back. We missed last week because I was integrating. I actually was just reflecting. I'm like, what the fuck do I even want to tell you guys? And the reason I'm asking that question is there's so much happening right now. Like August was like so mammoth. I feel like I lived 6 months in just August. It was such a huge month for She Who Dares. We launched the She Who Dares Challenge, which just finished yesterday. And that has just blown my mind. The She Who Dares Challenge, where I taught the She Who Dares laws in my specific sequence over 14 days, 14 audios, 14 identity upgrading, blow your fucking mind, ahas, has just finished yesterday. We had 50 women join the challenge. And it was just incredible. Like I knew it was going to be powerful. I knew the teachings were going to be so powerful and just unlock women at the deepest level. But then to actually launch it, have it go live, have 50 women go through the trainings and actually see how powerful it is kind of blew me away. Like I'm still coming down. Like it only ended yesterday. So the last 14 days, that has been incredible. But before that, I also went to a business retreat and that blew me. The business retreat didn't just blow me open, it cracked me the fuck open in the most incredible way. So there's just been so much going on. Like I feel like August, I was just like, go. There was just so many moving pieces with the launch, with the business. I had this business retreat and it just, a lot of my energy was just like output. And so I feel like I've just kind of been like exhaling a little bit. So last week when I went to record, I was like, nah, it's not happening. I need more time. And something that I really honor is trusting my gut. I'm really good at knowing when I need to push myself and when it's a bunch of bullshit that's just stopping me, or when I actually need to integrate, when I actually need to pause. And actually, if I hadn't recorded last week, I would have been pushing myself to record, to tick a box so that you guys got your episode on Wednesday, but it wouldn't have been the episode that it could have been because I was just so in it still. And so now we're here and it's Wednesday. Well, I'm recording this on Monday, but you guys are receiving it on Wednesday. And I'm like, let's fucking talk about it. I really want to share with you guys my experience at the business retreat that I went to. And this is actually my mentor's first live business event that she has put on. And I got a ticket as part of my kind of mentorship and membership that I'm a part of. And I went along. It was on the Gold Coast. Like, I can't even think what day it was, like the 21st and 22nd of August. And it was at the QT. And something about me, I love staying in hotels. It's honestly like one of my favorite things to do. No plan, just go and stay in a hotel. So I was really looking forward to going down to the Gold Coast. I booked a beautiful like ocean view room at the QT and just really giving myself this experience. I've been working with this mentor since the 31st of December. I actually signed up to join her membership on the 31st of December at 5:15 p.m. And I remember hitting enroll, do you know what I mean, and investing that money and committing to a year-long container with her, and it felt like a really big deal. I remember it. And when I reflect on why did it feel like a big deal, because I've invested more money other times, I'd worked with other mentors before, I had done other things. I think there was just something about this season that I was entering. It felt like a really big decision, because it meant that I was going to up level, that I was actually going to do the thing that I knew I needed to do, which is become really good at creating content and be consistent at that thing that I had been not wanting to have to do, which is create content. So I've been working with her for most of this year, and this is her event. And I've been to a lot of personal development events. Like, I've been in this game a long time, 10 years, a decade last year, actually. So I think I'm in my 11th year. And you name it, I've been to it and I have loved it. And in my first business, I went to a lot of personal development events. And to be honest with you, I haven't actually been to anything since before COVID. I actually ran events. My first and last live events, She Who Dares events, were in 2019. I ran the She Who Dares soirees, and I had one in Canberra and I had one in Brisbane, sold out, incredible. And that was in November 2019. And then obviously the world went into COVID, and I haven't even thought about doing live events again. Totally want to do them now that I've just come out of such a profound experience. So maybe 2026, we'll see that, who knows? There's just so fucking much going on at the moment. It's like hard to like, hey, Krystal, land the plane, Krystal, land the fucking plane. But I went to this event on the Gold Coast. I had 2 nights of a QT, ocean view room, like just right on the ocean, which in itself was just so incredibly healing to my nervous system. Every night, just the waves crashing in and going out, crashing in and going out. Like, that was just in itself so healing. But I had a one-on-one session with my mentor probably about a month before the event that she was going to hold. And I said to her, like, I could just feel energetically that there was a lot of emotion bubbling up for me leading up to this event. And I just knew intuitively that the event was going to be a really big deal for me. Didn't know why. I just had that feeling. And like, when I was speaking to her about attending, I could feel the emotion. Anyway, it ended up being fucking huge. And I want to share with you guys why. So what I loved about this event. So as I mentioned, I've been to a lot of personal development events in the past. And what I didn't realize is that all of the personal development events that I have been to have all been run by men. In fact, only recently, working with my mentor, who is female, have I also realized that almost 99% of courses, programs that I have done have all been male-led. And so working with my mentor, Hannah, it's super refreshing that just working with a female and feeling like super safe in her space and energy, working with a female, because, you know, we all have our sisterhood stuff as well. But she definitely has helped me feel like super safe in her space, which is super cool. And so what I realized is I hadn't actually been to a personal development event facilitated by a woman. So that was really exciting. And then speaking to Hannah and learning kind of like the energy around the event and what the purpose was, that really excited me, because it wasn't about getting as many people in. It was actually a high ticket event with high touch, but low number of women. So there was only 40 women in the room. And I really loved that. I think a lot of personal development events that I've been to, it's like 100 people plus, 100 people to 1,000 people. And there was just something so special about being in a room for 2 days with 40 other women in business. And it made me realize how much I am craving this, how much I've not been doing this, and how much I need to get in rooms with other women in business more. And that's kind of what I've been doing all this year because I'm in her membership and I'm, just sort of putting myself in those rooms. So being in this room was like an extension of like work that I've already been doing. And that alone, there is something so powerful about bringing women together. And that's why I love what I do, because I bring women together and I help women be cracked open as well. And so to be on the receiving end of that was really special. Like I just felt so connected and so lit up and so fucking emotional. My God, I cried for 2 days. It was ridiculous. But I want to share with you the two big things that came up for me at this event. So it was 2 days. And this is just really interesting. Like the first big breakthrough that I had kind of shocked me. Like I was not expecting that to happen. But we were only like 15 minutes into the day one of the event. And Hannah's recently had a little girl, her little baby. And what I love about Hannah is she is teaching motherhood and business at the same time. Like she's like at the event, she was breastfeeding, we're on call, she's breastfeeding. And I just love that. I think for myself, as someone who's been in business a long time, there's definitely been a disconnect for me around like, how will I run a business and be a mother? Because we don't see a lot of people modeling that. And so being in Hannah's world has been super refreshing because she is modeling that in just the most natural, like it's not a big fucking deal to breastfeed my daughter on a call. And I love that. And so I've seen Hannah breastfeeding her daughter many times on calls. However, there was something at this event. So we're only 15 minutes into day one and Hannah's business operations manager brings in her little girl to start breastfeeding her. And there was just something that just fucking unlocked all of this hurt and pain that oh my God, am I going to cry again? Maybe all this hurt and pain that I hadn't quite fully processed yet, which is okay because it's new for me. I only felt pregnant in February and I had a miscarriage in April. I think grief is really interesting. Like I definitely took time off. I definitely grieved. I didn't push through and make myself just keep showing up. I definitely thought that I took time to grieve and process my emotions. And I think I did, but there was something about being in this room of 40 women and I was really locked in on Hannah, like just, watching her. I had eye contact with her the whole time. And then all of a sudden her daughter was brought in and she started breastfeeding her daughter. And there was just something, honestly, it was so beautiful. And in my world, I actually don't have a lot of friends who have young kids. And so I actually haven't been around a lot of women breastfeeding, particularly while I've been going through the last 9 years of fertility. In fact, a lot of my friends who are in my life right now that I see often are all male. And I have a few girlfriends and stuff like that who do have children. They're a bit further away, so I don't see them as much. And so there was just something that happened in that moment when I was watching Hannah breastfeed her daughter that it just brought up all of this, emotion and hurt and pain. It was like this really powerful moment because I was so locked in on Hannah and then all of a sudden I couldn't even look at her and she knew straight away. The space that she was facilitating, I feel like she knew that I needed to share this with the room. I was like grabbing the mic left, right, and center. But Hannah looked at me and she said, "Do you want to speak?" And I said to her, I was scared because I was feeling, I couldn't get it together. I was like trying to like, get yourself together, Krystal. What the fuck? We've been in this room 10 minutes. And Hannah looked at me and said, "Do you want to speak?" Knowing what was coming up for me. And I said, I'm scared if I take that microphone that I'm going to crumble because there was just so much emotion coming up. And so I took the microphone because that's what I fucking do. I do the thing that scares me and that's how I am. So even though I didn't want to speak and even though I could barely speak because I had so much emotion, I grabbed that microphone. I shared with the women in the room that I'd been on a 9-year fertility journey and that I was actually really exhausted. I'm exhausted from picking myself back up. I'm exhausted from pretending I'm fine. I'm exhausted from swallowing my grief and my pain and my hurt. But most of all, I'm so exhausted from being so strong all the time. The weirdest thing with my miscarriage that came up for me was like, I was fine. I took 2 weeks off. I cried. I ate chocolate. I watched Grey's Anatomy. And I was actually okay. I felt I should have been grieving more. I should have felt more. And not that I didn't feel, I did feel, but I just was like, oh, it made me so angry how strong I am. It was like the one time that I was like, I just want to be a puddle on the floor. I'm so sick of picking myself up. I'm so sick of being so strong. Being so strong all the time is so fucking exhausting sometimes. And when I experienced my pregnancy and my pregnancy loss, that was a real time for me that I just was like, well, I'm really fucking tired and I'm really sick of this. And I'm actually really angry. And I am so sick of being strong. Like, I just want to lie on the floor and I want to stay on the floor, but I have to keep getting back up. And it's so innately my personality to also keep getting back up. Like, I feel like I've lived quite a life. You know, I share my fertility journey, but the truth is, like, I have had a very colorful and intense and a lot of traumatic, horrible experiences throughout my life. And I just keep getting back up. I just keep getting back up. And I'm just so fucking strong all the time. And so I grabbed the mic and I shared that basically with the room of women, and I broke the fuck down. I mean, I could barely speak. It was such a raw moment of emotion and vulnerability so quickly in the room. And it was so interesting because then so many women came up to me afterwards and were so like, could not believe that I'd been going through fertility for 9 years, that I'd been failing at this thing for 9 years. And I said to Bruce, I called Bruce afterwards and I was like crying to him on the phone. I was just like, we really need to give ourselves credit, because Bruce and I, first of all, we have the most incredible relationship. We're so strong and we're so in love and we're so strong together. And he is like the place where I get to be a puddle. He's just everything to me and I love him so much. Neither of us are perfect human beings and we don't have the perfect relationship, but we have something really special. And we are constantly reminded of how what we have is so special. And I called Bruce after the first night. I was like, wow, all this shit about my fertility came up. And I said to him, you know, we really need to give ourselves credit because it's so our normal, but it's not fucking normal. It is not normal by any means to have been going through fertility for the last better half of a decade. And it's only made us stronger. It's only made our love for each other stronger. And regardless of what happens, like, I know that we'll be okay. But it just was really interesting watching other women go, wow, I can't believe you've been going through that. And I think sometimes when somebody validates it, because I'm in it, I'm just doing it, I just keep getting back up. It's just my fucking life. This is my normal. That having somebody else reflect back to me that that's not normal or that must be really hard. I'm like, yeah, actually, you're right. It is really hard. It has been really hard. But I just keep doing what I always do, which is get back up. And sometimes that makes me really angry because sometimes I just want to lie on the floor and cry. So that was actually, like, even though I'm crying, it sounds emotional, it was actually really beautiful. I felt like it was like incredibly healing for me that I just, in this very raw and vulnerable and uncontrollable way in a room of 40 women, just like, I couldn't even speak. The emotion was so intense and so raw. And I think I needed that. I think I needed that. And it was a really beautiful moment. And it wasn't from a place of envy. Like, watching Hannah breastfeed her daughter was so beautiful. That's what cracked me open. And then in the beauty of watching her breastfeed her daughter, it also reminded me that, oh, I actually do really want that. And that's right. We've been trying for 9 years and it's been really fucking tough. So that was day one. And also it's a business retreat. So that was day one of the business retreat. Cracked me wide open. And honestly, I was so emotionally spent that I could barely walk to get to my room fast enough at 4 p.m. I was just like, had nothing in my tank, barely get in the shower. It was like such a huge release. But then I woke up the next morning at 5 a.m. and I was sitting in my hotel room and I just had this overwhelming, wow, well, that was a huge day yesterday, Krystal. But I was like, had this, you know, when your intuition is like, no, that wasn't it. That was important. So glad you got that off your chest. but there was actually another reason that I was there. And I just woke up in tears. Like I woke up in this heavy emotion and this huge, like my intuition was just fly kicking me in the face, telling me that I needed to grab the microphone and I needed to tell the whole room of women that I am no longer making multi-six figures a year in my business. Now, the backstory to this is that I've been in business 10 years. I have built two multi-six figure businesses. However, She Who Dares is no longer turning over multi-six figures a year. It was, and it hasn't since late 2022. And I can't believe I even just said that so easily. Like that has been something that I have felt that I could not say. I could not say as a business coach. I could not say that I would lose credibility. That would mean that I was a failure. I just felt like I couldn't say it, which is really difficult for me because I'm so open. I love fucking talking about all the things. But this was one thing that I felt like, oh, I can't talk about it yet. I have to get back to multi-six figures and then I'll talk about it. Then I'll teach you about everything I did and then I'll talk about it vulnerably. And Hannah often says to people, as have I, it's something that's said often in the coaching industry, what are you not saying? And I really didn't want that to be the thing that I had to say. I wanted to just get my business back to multi-six figures and then I would say it. And I grabbed the mic on day 2 and I just told the whole room, again through tears, because there had just been so much shame. And the minute the words left my mouth, I just laughed. I was laughing and crying because I was like, wow, why have I made this mean something? Like, why have I given this so much power over me? This does not mean that I'm a failure. And in saying the words and releasing the shame, I got that huge download and that huge gift by being brave and saying the thing I did not want to say out loud. It gave me all of my power back in an instant. It was like so incredible. And what I learned was it's fucking normal. It's normal. So many other women then shared that their business isn't doing what it used to, that they're going through dips. But the problem is that we don't speak about this. We hide it. We want to fix it in the darkness, in the shadows, then come back out and be like, no, I'm back. Well, let me teach you all about it. And I was doing that too. And, you know, it's something that I am so grateful that I had the balls, that my intuition, she doesn't fuck around. Literally at 5 a.m., I woke up in tears and was like, you got to grab that microphone today and you're going to tell every single woman in that room that you're no longer making multi-six figures a year. And I was like, no, I'm fucking not. And she was like, yes, you fucking are. And then I went and had a shower and I was crying and I was like, I can't believe I'm going to do this today. And I knew if I did not do that on day 2 of the event, that I would have missed a huge opportunity for growth. And so we got to lunchtime. I was like on the edge of my seat all of day 2. Because also I'd had such a big moment the day before with the fertility stuff. So I kind of was like, I don't want to like take up more space. I don't want to take somebody else's opportunity to speak. So then I also started to convince myself that, not convince myself, but kind of give myself a little bit of a plan B. That if I didn't get the microphone on day 2, that I would speak about it on socials, that I would release myself of this regardless. But I happened to be sitting next to Hannah when we were eating lunch. And I said, Hannah, I woke up with such like a huge call and said that I need. And Hannah knew. She's been my business mentor for the last 6 months. She knows what's been going on in my business. She knows that I've been working hard and overcoming. Like she knows I've been in the trenches. And so she knew when I said, I feel like I needed to say something else. And then as soon as we got back for lunch, she was like, well, microphone? And I was like, sure, let's fucking do this. And I said it. And it was such a defining moment for me. I took all of my power back in that moment. I like stood there in that room with 40 other successful women in business. And I told them all this secret that I felt like I needed to hide, which is I'm no longer doing multi-six figures. My business fell back. And there's a multitude of reasons, personal reasons, business reasons, financial reasons. There's so many. It's not one reason as to why my business dropped back. It's a lot of things that happened. 2022 was the toughest year I've ever had. And I got knocked the fuck out. I've never been knocked out so hard in the face, king hit. I got knocked the fuck out. And with that went my business income. It dropped way back. I mean, I was doing 30 to 50K months. And I think there was like a month into the end of 22 where I did $2,500. And with that, such a huge shift in my income. It took with me my identity, my worth, my self-belief. I felt like a failure. And for me personally, I have worked so hard my whole life to not be a failure because I grew up with what felt like nothing, government housing, all the different things that created an identity that I was like, I'm going to work really fucking hard to be successful. I might not have anything else, but I'm going to be fucking successful. I'm going to be a hard worker. I'm going to make something out of myself. I'm going to build something. And that's been a huge driving force in my life. And my identity and my work was tied up in all of that. And I thought that I had done a lot of work on it, and I have. But when this huge crash in my business in 2022 and it KO'd me, I had to get back up. I didn't get to lie on the floor and cry, even though I wanted to. I had to get back up. And I had to get back up and start rebuilding myself and my business brick by brick, layer by layer. And I had zero self-belief. I can't even put it into words. Like, my identity shattered. Everything that I thought I was gone in an instant. And I felt like I was a fraud and a failure at the deepest, darkest levels of myself. But I had to get back up because I had a business, I had a brand, I had clients, I had responsibility. I don't have anyone financially backing me. I don't have a plan B. I don't have any security. I'm the one who's like breaking patterns and cycles. I'm the security for a lot of people in my family. So I didn't have the opportunity to just fall down and stay on the floor. I had to get back up. And when I say that get back up was the hardest thing I've ever done, it was the hardest thing I've ever fucking done. Because I've never, ever, ever felt so lost. And I was just surrounded by darkness. And it was not like, oh, my inner mean girl's beating me up. I've had that. This was something else. This was like, I don't know who I am. I have lost every sense of myself, every part of my identity, everything that I thought I was as a woman, everything I thought I knew about myself in business, success, money, everything shattered to the ground. And I was like, I'm a fucking shell of who I thought I was. And I had to rebuild from that place. And can I tell you, it has been a fucking journey. It has been a journey, and it's so interesting. I've spoken about it. Like, I speak about failure so much. I feel like if you want to learn about failure, I'm the right person to come and talk to, because I mean, I've had lots of successes, but like me and failure, we know each other intimately. I've had failures that would have taken most people out of the game. In fact, I wanted them to take me out of the game, but I didn't have a choice. I had to get the fuck back up. And so I have spoken about failure, and I speak about it in this roundabout way. And I've even spoken about 2022 being a really hard year for me. I've just never been really direct about it. And so saying it out loud at this event was just a really powerful moment for me. And as I stood there with the microphone and tears and fear and not wanting to say, I am no longer making which sounds so fucking ridiculous now. Like, I literally could laugh at myself. I'm no longer making multi-six figures. In that moment, I call all of my power back to me. And I felt it. I was like, oh, you ain't got nothing on me now. Do you know what I mean? Like, nothing. This is my story. And you know what? In that moment, articulating it, you know what I learned about myself? If I can do this, if I can build my business back from where I was, holy shit. Like, that actually gives me an edge. That actually makes me so fucking powerful, so fucking strategic, so fucking knowledgeable, an excellent coach, an excellent business mentor, because it's easy if you're winning. Like, the business coach out there who's just fucking winning, who hasn't had any failure, who has just been like this for, they don't know shit about shit. You can't know business unless you've fucking been KO'd. I have been knocked the fuck out, and I got back up, and I have been rebuilding my business. Feels so good to say it. And you know what I realized in the moment, which makes me so emotional in the most beautiful way, is that I have felt like I couldn't say this because I've not seen anyone say it. I've not seen anyone who I follow in the coaching industry, other women in business, talk about failure, talk about going from 30 to 50K months to their income dropping right back and what they've done to rebuild it. I've not seen anyone speak about that. And then it dawned on me, Krystal, you're going through this, which is what I believe. You're going through this because you're the one who's meant to speak about it. And which is so interesting, because that is actually a belief I hold. I believe that everything that I've gone through is helping me to become the woman I need to be so I can make the impact that I want to make. And it's like, how did I miss this? How did this happen that I've spent the last 2.5 years hiding this thing, thinking that when I get back there, then I'll tell everyone, not realizing that I am meant to speak about it now. Duh. That's what I believe. And that's how I apply lots of things in my life. But there was just something around this that I found it really difficult. And so I realized that I'm meant to be that person, so that you, other women in business, if you're having a dip, if your business is no longer making the money it was and you're rebuilding, it's okay. I don't want any woman to feel what I felt the last 2.5 years. I don't want you to feel alone. I don't want you to feel like there's something wrong with you because everyone else is only ever talking about how successful they are all the time. That's not what I'm here to do. I'm here to give you guys the truth. Even though it's taken me a little while to get here, I'm here to give you guys the truth. My name is Krystal fucking Wilson. I've built 2 businesses to multi-6 figures. I am no longer doing multi-6 figures a year. And you know what it means? Jack fucking shit. It means nothing, because I am rebuilding on such a solid foundation. My business is doing really well. Like, I'm so excited. I'm so excited about where I'm headed next. I've been in the trenches building and rebuilding and figuring shit the fuck out for 10 years in business. And I'm just really excited about where I'm headed. And this last kind of like year working with Hannah, going to this event, like having all these really big, profound moments, it has activated me in a way that I can't even describe. I am not the most successful that I've ever been right now, but I am definitely the most fucking powerful, most aligned, most secure version of myself that I've ever been right now. And to have those things when I have actually felt like I was failing, to have built my self-belief, my power, my leadership, my dedication, my alignment from the ashes, I'm like, oh, it's like scary in the best way about where I'm headed next. Yeah. I'm like, I'm just looking at the time, like we're 32 minutes in, like, what the fuck did we just talk about? You know, and you're like, so that was my experience at a recent business retreat. I got cracked open. I spoke about things that I haven't spoken about, and I shared and revealed things that I thought I had to hide. And in that moment, I called all of my power back to me, and it is fucking go time. Like, I have never felt so ready for my next level. And I've had many next levels. I've been doing this a long time. New level, new devil. I feel like I've had such a mammoth breakthrough in my identity, in my leadership, in my power, that it's, whoa, I actually don't know where we're going next, but I know it's going to be fucking amazing. And are you guys coming along for the ride? Get in the She Who Dares rocket, because we're going to the fucking moon. Who's coming with me? I'll see you guys next week for the next episode.
Thank you so much for joining me for today's episode. If you loved this episode, be sure to share that with me by leaving me a review, and head over to the She Who Dares official Instagram account at She Who Dares Official, hit follow, slide into my DMs, and share with me the impact this episode has had on you. And before you go, I'm going to leave you with this. The universe is responding to you. It is following your lead. You are the one who has to move first. And when you do, the whole universe will move with you, because it's I lead, the universe follows. When I move, the universe moves with me. That is our official She Who Dares mantra. I want you to write it down, put it on a mirror, and I want you to remind yourself of it every day. When I lead, the universe follows. When I move, the universe moves with me. When you follow this She Who Dares mantra, you are going to unlock the magic of the universe, and you are stepping into your most powerful self. I can't wait to see you for the next episode. Thanks for being here.